the Artist Interrogations Podcast.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, Shane, I can hear you. How's it going?
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, my service is kind of bad in here, and I'm like, there's like some background music. I'm in a hotel lobby. It's not the best. I don't know if that's a problem.
That's okay. I know you're in the middle of a tour right now, the 25 Years of Noise tour, man. You were just in Salt Lake City last night, weren't you?
Yeah, are we going? Are we on?
Yeah, we're going, man. We can just chat it up. It's not like an official, like, hey, everybody, like that type of wacky radio interview. It's just, hey, how's it going?
Okay, cool. Let me get in a little bit of a better position here. It's just like, maybe you can't hear the background music, but I can, and it's like
It's driving you nuts?
It kind of sucks, yeah. Sorry, man.
It's okay.
Usually I'm a little more prepared than this.
I know you're a podcast host yourself, so I'm sure you know everything there is to know about interviews and such and all that.
Yes, everything there is to know. It's really funny. I don't know. Over here, there's some people talking.
Just tell them to be quiet. You know, you're doing an interview.
Yeah. Come on. This is more important than whatever you got going on.
That's right.
All right. I think I found a little corner. It's a little better here. All right, Mr. Peaches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm ever doing an interview with these like lights on here because we sort of revamped the studio. And I don't know how you do it on stage, man, because I have two lights on me. I'm sitting here and I'm about to like break out sweating. I can't imagine moving around on stage, singing, doing your thing. I'd be dead on stage.
Man, I'll tell you, the light technology has improved. Back in the day, they had
Oh, he disconnected. Well, we're off to a great start, Shane. We're doing well.
What's going on? I just got disconnected.
Yeah, it just all of a sudden went ding, and then you just got kicked out.
Hey guys, let me jump back on. I'm just gonna get on a better Wi-Fi connection.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
sounds
be right
good.
back, man.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
No problems. That's funny. That's really funny.
All right.
There we go.
I'm on the Hyatt Wi-Fi now. I think this is going to be good.
Okay, awesome. No worries. It happens, man. When I interviewed Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm, right as I joined the Zoom call, the whole thing crashed. And I was in here freaking out and ended up sounding like that guy, like, well, do it live. You know, that type of thing.
Oh, good. I love Lizzie. She's the best.
She's one of the nicest people. And it's funny how everyone in this genre, incredibly nice. I have not met one single bad person or one single mean person, I should say.
No, I think, it's a hard road, to get to, I don't want to say the top, but like, somewhere up the mountain. And I think burning the bridges along the way doesn't get you too far. And people that do that, those kind of are they don't get very far.
Right. And I was doing my research, of course, in preparing for this interview. And I heard you say something about like how you recorded Discovering the Waterfront in a walk-in closet, and like you had two guys in the band sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, we didn't record it in a closet, but we did. I did live in a walk-in closet. Yeah, it was our first record we made, away from home in California, and we were just excited to be there, and we were like, oh yeah, it's fine. We didn't really check the specs on the Airbnb or whatever. I mean, it wasn't Airbnb in those days, but the apartment. And yeah, we had the guitar players got their own bed. The rhythm section shared a bed, and I had a cot in a walk-in closet that I lived in for like nearly 2 months. And I wrote some great lyrics in that walk-in closet, though.
I was gonna say you made one of the best albums of all time in that closet, which is funny because like you always hear these stories about different artists with some of their first albums, like Panic at the Disco had barely any money to fund that first album, and of course that's one of the classics now. And it's crazy to think that you're almost wanting to go back to those type of conditions in order to make some magic again, I guess, that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've made so many albums, and we did the second album, Discovering the Waterfront, and the third album, we did both of those in California. And then for a really long stretch of time, we made records at home in Canada. And for this last record that is coming out in just a couple of weeks, with some of the songs that you've been playing, we went back to California again, and we hadn't done that since 2007. And I think it did feel kind of like the old days, of living remotely and all living together, kind of being a unit, and then really being in a remote place, away from friends, family. You don't go home after the studio and then like your girlfriend's like, "Are you going to do the laundry or am I? What's going on here?" Those kinds of like distractions, which I don't think add much to the creative process. So this record out in Joshua Tree, California, was terrific, a terrific experience, and it did feel in some ways kind of like those early records we made in California.
I mean, touring now compared to before, I mean, clearly the vehicle situation must be different, right? I'm hoping you're not stuck in like some crappy old van going from place to place, that type of thing.
No, yeah, we've graduated to a bus,
Nice.
so that's nice. We even have a truck this time because we have so much production that we have a full-on semi truck, and it's kind of funny. We figured, okay, well, we can get a semi truck, and then we don't have to worry about like a trailer on the bus either, so we don't have to worry about it. And then we loaded all the stuff in the truck, and there was so much stuff that even the truck's full, so we still needed a trailer to put our merch and stuff in. So yeah, this tour we're doing right now has been pretty extensive, pretty wild, and really just awesome. And yeah, it's the biggest tour we've ever done, so it feels pretty good. 25 years in to be at our peak. It's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah. 25 years of being together. I bet that has just flown by, hasn't it? Like it's wild to think that, it's gone, it's done, and you're still going type thing.
Yeah, it feels like one big long day, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, because our band, like, a lot of bands that reach this milestone, they had their time off, maybe they broke up for a while or they took a hiatus or even just like 6 months off. We never did that. It's been record, like we write a record, we record a record, we go on tour, rinse, repeat, like 12 times or however many albums we've done. So it's, yeah, it really does feel like just kind of one big long day. I don't feel too much different, a little grayer, and I don't know, a lot older, but I still feel great about it. And I do feel very privileged to be able to do this for this long at this level. And I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, one thing I was going to mention, because I know you guys have written a lot of great songs. You're about to do not one, but 2 albums this year. And I'm just thinking, like, back when you guys first started, I think you said you were 19 years old. And the emotions, because we talk about it on the air, how bands, could put everything into their first album because they've had years of this creative process versus, continuing as a band and continuing to make music, that you might lose that emotional edge almost, or like that feeling. Sure. Almost. So like, yeah, trying to make songs now compared to back then, do you have to put yourself in weird situations in your head to kind of like have those feelings come back up into the songwriting?
It's a good question. Yeah, they do say that, right? You have your whole life to make your first record. And our first record was kind of a compilation of all the material, the best material that we'd written up to that point. And and then we were kind of a little freaked out when we made the second record, because it was like, oh, we're writing all these songs in like 3 months, and then here's the record, But honestly, for us, I think that our second record was much better than our first, because we had a more sort of what's the word? Zoomed in look approach, snapshot in time, a cohesive sort of feeling and sound to it. And I think that taught us a lot, that you don't necessarily need a lot of time to make a record. You just need to be inspired. You need to work hard on it, take the amount of time that you need, and just really, nose to the grindstone, make it happen. And I think a lot of bands, I should say, they sort of get lazy, I think, as they go. And that's why sometimes the records get worse and worse and worse and worse, until maybe it starts to get a little sad. And we can say that our records have gotten better over time. really, it's no secret. You just have to put in the time, put in the work, and just not get lazy about it. So this time around, we worked so hard that we had 25 completed songs. And I don't mean like 25 like little ditties or little ideas. I mean like 25 done songs that we already liked. And when it came time to say, oh man, we're gonna have to pare this down to like 12, we started to have a few issues in the band because people were like, what do you mean we're cutting this song? What do you mean we're cutting this song? So that's when we decided to turn it into 2 albums, and 2 shorter albums, mind you. But we wanted to do something with a little more songs because the idea of cutting it down to 12 was like painful for us.
No kidding. And the first 2 singles, I think, the Confession, when I first heard it, I had it on repeat. It ended up being like one of my most played songs of last year just because
Nice.
I just loved that beginning part. And then the chorus comes in. It was great. That's why I chose it as my pick of the day that one week that it came out. And then
Thank you.
I saw Don't Let Me Get Too Low, and I watched that music video, and that one was even just as good as Confession. I was like, dude, these guys will not put out any bad songs. Like, it's just, anything like this. They're both great tracks. And the music video for Don't Let Me Get Too Low is funny because I heard you talk about how you went to the Vegas desert because you currently reside in Vegas, and you went to the desert just by yourself, and you decided to dig a hole. And I'm thinking, like, the other guys in the band were probably happy about that, but then also, whose idea was it in the first place to go to the desert and really embrace the Vegas heat and record that video?
Yeah, well, it wasn't too hot because it was October, so it was kind of still. It wasn't too cold, it wasn't too hot. It was kind of perfect weather. But it was actually our guitar player, Paul Mark. It was kind of his vision for that video, along with our longtime director, Wyatt Clough. So they kind of teamed up on the treatment of the video. And the rest of the band was like, sweet, we don't have to be in a video? Great. So Paul Mark did fly down with Wyatt, and the 3 of us kind of worked on the video. And then my friend Patrick was my body double. So there's a couple points where where there had to be two Shanes. So that was a lot of fun to make. But I got to say, man, we filmed that video in the Vegas desert. Then the next day we filmed a second video for an upcoming song. And if you see at the very end of the Don't Let Me Get Too Low video, I'm wearing like a detective costume, and I take a picture real quick. That's a little bit of that's showing what's coming in the next video.
Oh, very cool.
And that video is even more fun, I think, than Don't Let Me Get Too Low. And that song is a banger too. So people are gonna have to wait a little while for that one because it's on the second album. But there's lots in the meantime with Antibloom coming out in just a couple weeks. These singles have all been really, really well received, which feels great.
My favorite part of the video too is when there's a camera on the shovel. Like, it just makes me laugh every time. It's just I'm like, there's just the camera on the shovel of you singing there, digging, and it's great. It reminds me of the movie Holes. That's what.
Yeah. Well, we kept saying quoting that movie on set, but that was funny because that we had this special clamp to clamp the camera to the shovel, and it had to be like in a specific way where I could. Use the shovel, but the camera mount was pretty heavy, so it kind of kept throwing me off when I was trying to use the shovel. But it was, it's funny that you noticed that. It was cool.
Yeah, where did you guys do the Confession music video? It looked really cool on that one too.
We shot that one in Toronto, and then the cutscenes were in Japan, actually.
Wow. Okay.
So Wyatt, our director Wyatt, lives in Japan. So he was able to do some pretty cool shots out there with that actress and everything in that video.
Yeah, that's a great music video too. I've been hooked onto that song, and with Don't Let Me Get Too Low. I was just scrolling Instagram, and I saw on one of the stories, I followed John from Point North, and he was like, "Yeah, I worked with Silverstein on Don't Let Me Get Too Low." I'm like, "What? You worked with them on that track?" Because John and the rest of Point North, we've talked to them plenty of times. They're awesome dudes, and I feel like John has done stuff with like every band. It's weird how like I'm discovering that.
He's amazing. Yeah, dude. And I'm an interviewer myself, and I pride myself on my research. And you are beyond me, dude. You're doing great. So, yeah, we Paul, Mark, and I went out to LA, and we did a little bit of writing with some people that we admire, and John is one of them. And it was great because we we wrote two songs, "Don't Let Me Get Too Low," and the song that I was talking about the other video for, actually. We wrote those two songs in like a day, and then we were like, cool, let's go play golf. And then we played golf, and it just like hung out. It was super like low key. It didn't feel like a lot of pressure. It was just fun. But we came up with maybe two of the best songs on both records. One's on one and one's on the other. And yeah, John's an absolute genius, man. He's got great ideas, and he's just a nice person. So
Definitely.
it was really, really, really great to hang out with him.
He's one of the nicest dudes. Same with his other friend Cody from Set It Off. Like those two bands,
Oh, yeah.
incredibly nice. And then there, even Cody from Wage War, I've noticed. Like I interviewed him, and I noticed he's a part of like everything too. Like he just produces stuff. And how did you guys write those two songs in like a day? Do you just know the basic formula by now, and you're like, okay, we need the verse, the chorus, the bridge, everything, and is that it? Or like, how do you guys dive into the songwriting process?
It's a good question. Every song is different, man. Like, there's no like magical secret recipe that goes into it. And I think with those ones, I think it sort of started with the riff, I guess, and then sort of just coming up with a melody to it, and sort of finding out like what kind of tempo we're looking for. But they happen relatively quickly. And yeah, the only thing with Don't Let Me Get Too Low is we didn't have a bridge at all for that one, and we wrote that in the studio later on. And I kind of feel like that's one of my favorite parts of the songs too. It kind of like embraces sort of like a modern hardcore breakdown, like similar to maybe like a band like Turnstile, or something like that, which I think is a really fun part of that song of Don't Let Me Get Too Low as well. But yeah, man, if I had the secret of how to just write a song every time and have it be a hit, no offense, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd be like hanging out with Paul McCartney and
Right.
And Elton John or whoever, the guys that maybe have figured it out. But no, man, every song is different. I think it should be. And every song has its own journey, and I think if you try to turn it into a formula, I think that's when things get stale, and I think that's when bands start failing, because the truth is there is no formula.
Yeah, it's funny because we talk about it on the air too from time to time about how every song now has a breakdown. It could be a ballad, and all of a sudden a breakdown happens, and you're like, "There's no more guitar solos anymore." Like, what's going on? Bust the guitar out or something.
Yeah, we've had a few guitar solos in our time, but I mean, sometimes, I think when you start playing live, you realize how much more excited the crowd is when there's a breakdown than when it's some dude wanking off on a guitar,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, depending on the style of music, right? But for us, at least, so I think that for us, the breakdown tends to win. But I do love a big soaring sing-along bridge as well. I am a fan of that. So, we switch it up, and it's just kind of what the song calls for.
I could not imagine what it's like, the feeling of being on stage doing a breakdown like that, especially in like, deathcore and extreme metal, that type of thing, and watching everyone just try to kill each other from up there too. It'd be fun time.
I call it the hospital part, because someone's going to the hospital.
Oh yeah. No, when I was at Wage War in Boise, you can tell like the crowd was somewhat into the openers, which I was shocked that they weren't really moving for Throne, because Throne is like the perfect band to really throw somebody. But then Wage War, I'm in the front, and of course I somehow end up where the pit is happening, and I'm trying to take photos for our social media pages, and I'm head and shoulders above everyone else because I'm 6'9". You can't tell, but I'm sitting down. But I'm sitting there, and I got my phone out, and people are bumping into me, and I turn around like the Undertaker, and they just all like leave. Dude,
so you're 6'9" and you're standing in the front. Man, people must have hated you.
Oh yeah, they hate me at every show. I always go to the front no matter what.
And well, every show I've ever been to, I'm behind you. So yeah, that's just the way it works out. I'm like, okay, how is it? What are the odds that the tallest guy in the room is right in front of me? It seems like every show it happens to me, but
I went
man,
to
can you dunk? You must
yeah.
be able to dunk.
Yeah, I played basketball for not Cal State Fullerton, Fullerton College, then transferred to Cal State
Oh,
Fullerton. So, yeah, I did see on your Instagram that you're heavily into sports. So I had like a sports question
yeah,
too. I was like, what sports is he into? I'm assuming I was going to be really bad and be like, oh, he's from Canada. So I'm assuming hockey, but it could be anything really.
dude, I'm a pretty massive sports. If you name it, I'm pretty way into it.
That's awesome.
I would say hockey's not like I never played hockey, which is a big surprise because I'm from Canada.
Right.
I played basketball and I played baseball, but and those might be my two favorite sports. But it changes, man. Like I gotta say, like, you know, as a sports fan, like watching sports, there are certain times in any sport when it's like that moment when you're like, oh, it doesn't get any better than this, you know?
Hmm.
Like I think end of a football game, when there's a team down by like, 3 points and they got to get down the field to try to kick a field goal. Like that is pretty exciting, But also like when you're talking about watching golf and it's a playoff and it's the Masters, all the pressure's on one guy to he's got to hit the green and make a putt to win the tournament. That stuff is super exciting too. So for me, like I just love sports. I love games. So I like them all. But yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you knew about the whole Luka Doncic trade, what you thought about that,
Yeah.
because I'm originally from Southern California, so I've been born and raised a Lakers fan,
Oh, you
and
must love it.
no, I was kind of indifferent about it because it was shocking to me that they just got rid of Anthony Davis, and I think there was some internal stuff with that, but because I know the politics behind everything is crazy, especially when it comes to collegiate basketball too, and how many people get recruited to these different places, and how many people like will go someplace or spend like 7 years instead of like 4 in college just trying to make it to play basketball, even though they should go move on to accounting or something. But I knew my time was up when I just hated practice. I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the knock on Luka is his defense maybe isn't up to par, but he's like a absolute insanely talented offensive player.
Most definitely.
It's like they've got two LeBrons practically now, with the way those guys are magicians on the offensive side of the ball. So, I'm really excited to see them play together. But yeah, I mean, are we gonna have like, are the scores going to be like 140 to 135?
It's too much.
Playing defense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
We'll see, man.
It's
I know the people in Dallas are pretty hurt because he's like their guy.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, that was like their main dude, and it was weird to see them just toss him like that, but it was really funny looking at the people saying like, oh, now he can't make $350 million in a Supermax extension. He can now only make like 225. And I'm like, what?
Boo.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and then he's going to LA where he gets taxed even more. I'm like, he's still getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play a game.
Yeah, I know. It's not to, I mean, the other side of that too, and I'm sure your listeners love hearing us talk about basketball. But is you got to figure the opportunities playing for the Lakers.
Oh yeah.
Financially and with all the endorsements that he's going to be able to get now too, especially once LeBron retires and he's the man in LA. It's going to be crazy. That's going to be way more than $150 million or whatever he's losing.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's nuts. And I also saw that you were into pinball as well. And I was thinking, like, did you start collecting machines? Did you start collecting pinball machines, or do you just kind of like admire them when you go to certain places?
Well, both. I have 8 machines.
Awesome, so cool.
So I've got a pretty decent collection. But yeah, pretty much every like off day, like today I'm in Denver. I'm gonna poke around down at the arcade and see what they got, if they got anything rare they haven't played in a while or whatever. But it's fun, the thing I love about pinball is it's such a great escape, man, from life. Like following around that little silver ball and having it not drain down the middle. It's kind of like it takes your mind off of everything else going on in your life at that moment. Some people get that from video games too, I guess. But the thing about pinball, it's so random. No game is the same, you know. You don't know where the ball's going to go, you know, and there's just a physical aspect of it, you know, pushing the game around, moving the machine around, and then just the challenge of you know of topping your previous score or beating your friend or whatever. And yeah, it's just something that I've gotten into pretty heavily in the last few years, and I made a lot of good friends through the hobby too. So yeah, it's something I enjoy.
I can't imagine going to an arcade somewhere and then running into you playing the game like just viciously trying to get the high score. That's like, oh, there's the lead singer of Silverstein. Just you know, he comes in here from time to time.
Well, that's what I say. It's like it's no secret, man. If we're in a city that day and there's like a pinball bar with a good number of machines pretty close, it's probably a good way to find me and say hi. You know, it's probably where I'll be.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it big time, Shane. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really, man, I'm just excited for the upcoming album, and then the other one. There's no set date for the second album of the year, is there? It just says later this year.
Yeah, I think we haven't exactly come up with a date, but it's going to come up quick. It is definitely coming out in 2025, and you know, I know our first one hasn't even come out yet, but our second one, it might even be better than the first. So I'm just excited that we're able to give our fans so much music this year, both recorded music and also live music, because we are announcing new tour dates all the time. We're playing all over the place, and it's really exciting to celebrate a quarter of a century of Silverstein.
It's worse to say it like that. If you just say 25 years, it's okay. But if you say a quarter of a century, that's when it's like, okay, like that's bad.
No, I know. You start thinking like, I don't know why when I say that, my mind goes back to like the 1800s or something. And
me too. Yeah. And it's funny because I was thinking about it. I'm like, all these questions that I have for Shane are like all about like, it's been 25 years. How does it feel to be the old guy in the scene now? Like that type of thing. Like, and I'm just like, he's not old. It's like, it's funny. And you see a lot of the people who are younger than me going back to late 90s fashion, and it's like a full circle moment almost, because it's like,
dude, I know.
Yeah.
It's like I go down to, you see kids like hanging out at the mall or whatever. And it's like, when I was in high school and I hung out at the mall, it's the same clothes that I wore. It's like the 90s are just back. It's super, super weird. And we started the band in the year 2000. So it's like, that was still the fashion then. So it's really funny that 25 years has just come back full circle. But I don't know, man, it's an exciting time, kind of in the world, both good and bad.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So we'll see, man.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny. I was talking to Mark Tremonti of Creed, and I'm like, dude, how's it feel to be like a meme band now, to where like people my age and younger and older, they're all coming together to go see Creed when they expected like a nostalgic audience, essentially. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine what like Silverstein as well, like, 25 years, you got people who have been there since the beginning versus people who have just now discovered you with the new music. And I bet it's weird seeing the difference in people in the audience in front of you. Yeah,
it's really cool to see so many young people coming out on this tour. I think more than before. And I don't know if they've found out about us in the last, couple of years, or if our scene and the emo movement has grown, due to bands like My Chemical Romance coming back, and Blink-182 coming back with Tom and all that. If that's just kind of like put a big spotlight on the whole scene, but it's great. And it's really, really awesome to look out and see somebody and be like, wow, they were like not born when we started the band, like not even close to born, and it's great, man. I mean, for our music to transcend generations like that is pretty crazy. And, I've always said, like, I just want to be the Bad Religion of emo. And that's pretty much what's happening, I think, at this point, because, when I got into Bad Religion, they were already pretty old and on I don't know how many albums they'd put out at that point. So I think it's really cool when people are still discovering our band, and that those old records still hold up to them, based on, it's probably not the recordings, it's probably the songs, and it's probably the lyrics. So
definitely,
I think we can be pretty proud of that.
It's funny you brought up Bad Religion because I got into Bad Religion as they were much older too, and is it Brooks Wackerman? Brooks Wackerman.
Yeah. Yeah.
His dad was a teacher, the music teacher at my middle school, and it was just like it was like a 95-year-old guy teaching music. Chuck Wackerman. My friend had him as a teacher, and I'm like, that's so weird how he's the dad of the drummer of Bad Religion, now Avenged Sevenfold, and I was like, for some reason, I felt like I knew him, even though I've never talked to him. I was like, I always felt like, I know his dad, so somehow I know him type of situation. But,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And it's a beautiful thing, man. How music just can be something forever.
Definitely.
And there's a lot of things people do that are like that. But the fact that I'm a part of something that can be forever, that long after I'm gone will still exist and people will still remember, that's pretty special. So I don't want to lose sight of that,
Definitely. And one last thing here before I got to get going here, but
Sure.
For Warped Tour, I mean, that coming back and you seeing these bands get announced, could Silverstein be a part of that, or is that top secret?
Well, we could,
Okay, you're right.
We could.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's been announced yet. I've been seeing the lineup and them filling in the blanks there with the lineups and some pretty cool videos. So, yeah, I will say I think we're in the top 3 bands that have done the most Warped Tour dates, and we were the number 1 international band, because we're Canadian. That counts as international,
Right?
To have played. So I think it would be a little bit odd if they didn't include us, but nothing's been announced yet. So
That's what I was thinking.
Speculation at this point.
Right. I saw Point North got announced for the Long Beach date, and I'm like, that's the neighboring city of my hometown. Maybe I should go fly out and go see those guys again, and go see the everybody, the Left to Suffer as well, and all the other bands that have been announced for it. It's pretty cool to see everyone get excited for the whole thing again.
I think you should make it out. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think. And from everything I've read about it, with Kevin Lyman still being involved, it seems like it's going to have the essence of, even though it'll be a little different now, I think the essence of Warped Tour and what makes it special, I think will still be there. So I'm excited to see how that all unfolds.
Well, appreciate it, Shane, for all the time today. I really do, man. It's been great to get the chance to talk to you. And yeah, I've been really, really digging Confession and Don't Let Me Get Too Low and Skin and Bones and all the songs that have been put out and all that stuff. So I'm excited.
Well, man, I really do want to say thank you, and that we really appreciate you playing our music on the radio, because we're not like a radio band historically. We've never had like a big radio hit, and so every time we get somebody that gets behind one of our songs and can show it off to some people listening on the radios, that really does mean a lot to us. So thank you, Brendan Peach, for all that. Do you go by Brendan Peach or Peaches? What's your handle?
I go by Peaches on the air, just because it's funny to see this giant dude come out of the car, and I scared Ice Nine Kills' drummer when I had to pick him up from the stadium that's like right down the street here and bring him to the studio and interview him, and then they told him Peaches is going to come pick you up, and he's probably expecting the complete opposite of what is me coming out of that car, like, hey Patrick, how's it going? Type of thing.
Peaches like the female pop star with the F the Pain Away song.
yeah. I do.
I'd love to meet her.
I do have an excerpt of one of her songs in one of my show intros. It's like it's like, what else is in the teaches of Peaches? I heard that in like a Nicolas Cage movie. I forgot. There's a driving something. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, I heard that. I'm like, that has to be included. And then every person I know sent me that Bowser song from the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Every single person was like, hey, look, listen to this. They mentioned you, type of thing.
There you go.
The Artist Interrogations podcast is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.